People ask why quite a lot. It's a tough question to answer. I don't do it for an adrenaline rush. I don't get a rush. It's just pure enjoyment. It's completely breathtaking. You can't afford to make mistakes when you're up on a crane. Out of all the times in your life to make mistakes, 300 feet up in the air is not the time to do it. I know the moment people look down is when they crap themselves. But for me, what's the point in going up if you're not going to look down?
The man behind this climb is not a stuntman or a professional climber, but a 23-year-old who lives at home with his mum in Southampton.
Yay.
James Kingston has gained worldwide notoriety for climbing and hanging from a 100-metre tall crane.
I like going through all the comments that I get on Facebook and Twitter. Most of them are really nice, but you get the odd bad. You are one crazy boy. You're fucking balmy, lad. Best way to be. That's not a bad comment though, is it? It's very difficult to explain why I hang off cranes. I guess in ways I am attracted to fear. I think it is just that mental challenge, that constant desire to get out of your comfort zone and become someone you didn't think you could be. I've thought about falling, but it doesn't affect what I do and how I live.
Do you value life?
Yeah, I definitely value my life.
But by sharing his climbs with the public, there is always a risk of inspiring copycats.
Would you feel responsible if someone had seen your video, tried it and failed? Is that something that worries you?
I'm not worried about it. I'm not challenging them to go out and hang off a crane. I don't want people to do stuff like that. That is something I try to tell people whenever I can. You know, people are dying already. You really can't afford for things to go wrong in that situation.
This climbing craze first emerged out of Russia and Ukraine over 7 years ago. Since then, it has spread across the world. Scaling cranes, bridges and towers without any safety equipment. Climbers have been attempting to outdo each other in a series of death-defying stunts. Although nobody has yet fallen in the UK, in Russia and Ukraine, at least 16 people have already died illegally climbing. Despite the risks, James is undeterred. Today, he's come to look at a potential new climb.
The plan is to climb that crane. It's high, awesome view, should be cool.
What are you hoping to do at there?
I just want to flip on it somehow. A somersault on a crane would be awesome.
you're putting yourself in danger going up there. What is it that you look forward to?
I guess it's just another adventure, yeah. Another step into the unknown.
After scaling the crane just across the river 3 months ago, James's notoriety is growing.
What did he say?
I'm not sure. Fall down next week. A lot of people say to me, I hope you fall, I hope you die, you deserve to fall and die. But I don't see what I've done wrong, or what I'm doing wrong. Am I doing anything wrong? I don't think I am. It's going to be good.
James grew up in the leafy Hampshire countryside on the outskirts of Southampton.
That's a knife.
Is it?
He hasn't seen his father since he was a small child and was brought up by his mum, Julie, who struggles to deal with her son's unusual hobby.
It is quite difficult. I find what he does, feels to me like his life's being threatened all the time. That's what it feels like. And it's more difficult at 4 o'clock in the morning when I hear that he's going off. At 9:30, I think he should be in by now. And then at 10:30, if he's not, I'm starting to panic. Even the thought of him going up a crane makes me feel sick.
Have you tried to persuade him not to do it?
James will always do what he wants to do. So I don't know how I would do that.
It's more risky than normal stuff, but it's not that bad.
I think there's a lot of people sort of saying, how the hell can you let him do that? I think people are really worried. But what can I do? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I can try to understand that, that he enjoys it, but I can't get him to stop. He won't stop for me.
It's 5 a.m. Accompanied by his friend Spencer, James is heading off to climb a new crane by the river. To avoid unwanted attention, he wants to begin the climb just before dawn.
Nearly there. It is really exciting. Straight.
Does your mum know you've gone yet?
If she knows that we've gone, which she probably does, then she's probably a bit worried. Sorry? Big, isn't it? Yeah. This is where I'd land if I jumped off.
Don't want to see that.
While it's still dark, I just want to get over there, check the crane's dry, really. If it's wet, then it's a bit stupid, really.
It's not stupid anyway.
Not in my head.
At 5:30 on a cold, wet Southampton morning, 23-year-old James Kingston is planning to illegally climb one of the area's tallest cranes. When he gets to the top, he hopes to hang or even flip 100 meters above the city. Watching from the ground is his friend Spencer, who won't be joining him.
Tell me again, why aren't you climbing?
Because I'm scared of heights. And I promised my mum I wouldn't climb a crane.
Can you understand James's mum?
Said if she felt a little bit better when I was there, because at least someone could, I don't know, ring someone if something happened, but...
How do you think that phone call would be?
Pretty hard. Hello? Is it too wet? No, it's good. Like drops hanging. Okay, bye. But he's going to do it, I think. He said it's not particularly wet, just some drips on it.
I think you should be doing this.
He knows. He knows his, I don't know, boundaries, I suppose. Just want to see him go up there and then just come back down. There's a guy over there, looks like security or something. The police are here. Okay.
With the police on site and heading his way, James has no other option than to abort the climb.
Sorry? Yeah, what are you going to do? You probably know what I was going to do, but I'm not doing it, so.
Leaving now? Or?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, behave yourself.
Despite catching James red-handed, the police are powerless to act. Under UK law, trespassing is treated as a civil matter, meaning it's up to the landowner to make a complaint. Back at home, James is hatching bigger plans. He's been contacted by a notorious Ukrainian climber who goes by the alias Mustang Wanted.
He got in touch shortly after my Southampton crane video. So I had a look at what he does, and turns out he does similar stuff.
Мы идем репортаж. Хрен знает на какой высоте, но там уже чопа внизу. Дима уходит на работу, и нам пора тоже валить. Погнали, хуя.
The structures they've got in Ukraine are amazing. I'm so jealous. And it's like he's doing it in the middle of the day, which you just can't do in England. So I said to him that I'd like to come and visit and to meet him.
James has arranged to travel to Kiev, where he and Mustang will climb some of the city's most iconic landmarks.
So you do this kind of stuff in England and you'll get shot. Looks like fun though.
The trip promises some of James's most dangerous climbs yet. But he hasn't always been so adventurous. From the age of 12, he regularly refused to go to school, and by 14, he rarely left his room.
I just couldn't deal with being forced to learn stuff that I didn't think I needed to learn. I was just like, man, I need to stop. I need to stop doing this for my own sake. So I did. I quit school.
When he just decided not to go to school, people were saying to me, for Christ's sake, just take him there and get him into school. And like, it had become quite difficult. And I said, actually, I can't even get him out of bed to get him to get his clothes on, to get him into the car, to get him out of the car, to get him into the school.
After that, I kind of fell into this gaming lifestyle where I would stay up all night playing games and then sleep all day and then do the same thing over and over and over again. I had very low self-esteem, very little confidence. I would just hide in my room. After 2 or 3 years, no interaction with the world whatsoever, I discovered parkour.
The extreme sport of parkour, or free running, taught James to re-engage with the outside world. While most people his age were applying to college or looking for a job, James was hanging out with a new group of friends.
That was where my new life began. It just gave me a reason to live.
Having escaped the confines of his room, the danger forced James to confront his other fear.
I used to be terrified of heights, absolutely terrified. It would just give me this horrible feeling like in my lower back, and it would make my legs go like wobbly. At the beginning it was very difficult to stop that, but you can get rid of all those feelings in an instant. It all depends on where you are in here.
It wasn't long before he discovered climbing and hanging. One night he followed some fellow free runners up a crane.
Be careful.
At the top, he watched something which would change his life.
The mental challenge is what it's all about. I think the moment I stop challenging myself is the moment I stop living, because I always want more. I always want to be pushing myself and getting one step further. Challenge there is to know that hanging from a bar 10 feet off the ground uses exactly the same effort as hanging from it 100 meters off the ground. The only difference is in your head.
Having seen his friend hang from a crane in Los Angeles, James returned home to explore the skyline further. James plans to travel to Ukraine to climb with the notorious Mustang Wanted. His mum is terrified by the prospect.
I'm now panicking because you're going off to Ukraine. I don't know what you're intending to do, but I really, really would like you not to do anything crazy in Ukraine. Just go up there and talk to the guys, climb up the crane, don't hang off the crane, don't walk along the crane, just talk to the guys. Do you know what I mean? And talk to them, and that would be what I would hope that you would do. You don't think that you're going to die doing this. This is totally extreme. So I'm asking you to stop, actually. You'll bloody die. That's what I'm worried about. But
my life has always been about pushing what I can do, isn't it?
To the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you fall from there, you will be dead.
It's like completely going against what I want to do. If I were to stop it, and I would be completely lost. I'd be like, what do I do? This is boring. I need more.
It's terrifying me, absolutely terrifying me.
Yeah.
it's only like in the last 48 hours I've just thought that I need to say to him, I don't want you to do it, and see if we can find some kind of compromise. It's a really difficult thing because he's my son, and also he's old enough to make his own decisions. If I don't tell him, then he doesn't know what my opinions are. Maybe then he doesn't, you know, maybe then he's thinking it's all okay with me, where actually it's not. I am scared by it.
Despite his mum's pleas, James refuses to cancel his trip.
I think he wants to do quite a lot of exciting things. What my hope is that he'll meet with Mustang and he'll say, actually, I realise that the reason he's doing it is because he's not quite right, and I don't think I'm ever going to do that. And this feels too risky for me.
Cranes everywhere. I'm like a child at Christmas. Cranes!
Having only climbed a handful of cranes and towers in the UK, James has arrived in Kiev to meet a notorious figure in the world of urban free climbing. 25-year-old Grigory Kirilenko is known to his many followers as Mustang Wanted. After climbing and hanging throughout Ukraine and Russia, his exploits have set a dangerous standard amongst the urban free climbing community.
See him. There he is. Hey man. How you doing? Ukraine, there's a lot of stuff to climb.
Спрашивают, ли много здесь есть мест, куда можно вылезти?
Yes!
Yeah.
Много, много.
A lot.
With James's Ukrainian non-existent, Mustang has brought along his friend Acid to help translate.
Джеймс, самое высокое здание или объект, на который поднимался?
600 feet, 200 meters. 200,
200 метров.
О, мы в Броварах лазили на вышку, а раньше на нее лазили, там даже один чувак умудрился сгореть на ней, когда она была включена.
So he burned and he died.
Yes.
Но мы не знали как бы особо. В Питере летом разбился трейсер. Типа он делал сальто на краю крыши, понял? И он когда закручивал, типа промахнулся, поскользнулся и с 16-го этажа улетел.
Despite having only just met, James is immediately asked to help Mustang with a dangerous new idea.
He asked if you can hold him on your head. His weight is like maybe 65 kilograms.
First impressions of Mustang are good. Seems like a cool guy. He's asked me if I could hold him with my hand over a 160-meter drop off the Moscow Bridge. So he'll be hanging off one hand that is only attached to my one hand. It's a huge amount of trust. But it sounds like death's quite a kind of normal thing here, like they're not too shocked by it.
Having only just arrived in Ukraine, James Kingston has come to a 15-story block of flats with notorious urban free climber Mustang Wanted. Mustang wants to hold and hang from James over the edge of the 119-meter-high Moscow Bridge, literally placing his life in his new friend's hand. Today, they will do a trial run.
Alex, help me.
Are you scared of death?
Боишься смерти?
Ну, это неизбежно. Даже, скажи, у меня есть плохие новости для Алекса, что даже он умрет.
It's the first time James has had to be responsible for someone else's life.
Джеймс, он здесь вот так вот встать, возьмет меня за руку.
And the prospect has unnerved him.
I don't like that.
А? Come on, Джеймс.
No.
Не ссы.
And there's a wind, man. I don't see why you need to do that.
Джеймс, come on.
I don't like the idea of standing on something that's so thin. Do it here.
Он как поднимаешь противовесом, он будет как бы сюда вытягивать.
Despite having to be persuaded, James eventually agrees to Mustang's request.
Но держишь, окей? Нормально? Ага. Циркус шапито.
The test is a success.
It's pretty scary. It's not too much of a big deal, really. It's quite a simple thing. But I didn't see the point in standing on the wall doing it. It's just unnecessary.
But Mustang doesn't want to stop there.
Does he want to sit on my shoulders?
Yes.
He wants to jump from here onto my shoulders.
I think it's extremely dumb idea.
Suddenly, Mustang gets a tip-off from a friend on the ground. The group have been spotted, and the police are on their way up.
Please, let's go.
This time they are lucky and get away. Mustang is used to such daring escapes. He first climbed nearly a decade ago as a bored 16-year-old.
Я как-то с детства, делал всякие штуки. Но это, по-моему, все дети делали. Я часто делаю то, что делать нельзя просто. И эта зима была, в Москве снег, короче, я начал ходить по этой штуке. Когда спрашивают, о чем ты думаешь, когда ты там наверху или когда делаешь что-то, а в целом обычно расслаблен. Короче, мысли бывают разные. Также я могу думать там про какой-то салат или про то, что я забыл кота покормить.
With the test an apparent success, James and Mustang plan to climb to the top of the iconic Moscow Bridge, where they will execute their daring new idea. But before then, another dangerous challenge awaits them. It's 5:30 a.m. and James is heading to another climb with Mustang.
The reason we've chosen to do it so early is because it's quite a secure building site. So we have to do a bit of a sneaky to get in.
Dnipro Towers is a group of 35-story, 110-meter tall, unoccupied residential buildings. On top of one is a frame that enticingly hangs over the edge.
Like 5 giant sausages. One of them's just got a big playground on the top. It looks awesome.
To access the shell of the building, James and Mustang must get through the fence and evade the security guards.
I think it's just a new adventure, climbing something you've never climbed before or exploring something you've never explored. That's what I love. We don't know what's ahead, and that's what's exciting. It's the start of something awesome.
Welcome. Wow. Look at this.
Something really cool about walking, having nothing at all underneath you. It really makes you realise that you are the only one who's in control of your destiny.
For Mustang to enjoy his morning stroll, he must first prepare.
Ну, мне нравится спокойно, когда преимущественно классика. Обычно стараюсь что-то такое, да, расслабляющее. Было много моментов, когда я чувствовал, что что-то не так. Ветер, например, поскользнулся. Я не отвлекаюсь на такое. Ты идешь, тебя чуть не упал, быстренько вырулил, идешь дальше. Good boy.
The only thing that can scare me when I'm climbing is watching someone else that's also up there. Definitely the biggest fear is I don't want them to die.
Balancing and hanging on top of the building is drawing more unwanted attention.
Security.
Below, security guards are circling the building,
Oh fuck, man.
meaning the fun's over and now the escape must begin.
There was a point where I was just sat on this rail and there's like, what, 200, 160 meters down here? And then there's like Mustang just hanging on this bar from one arm, and I'm just like looking down, envisioning what it would look like if he let go.
Do you think that's how your mum feels?
Maybe she does see the same kind of, maybe she sees images of me falling, or...
It wouldn't make you want to stop.
No, it wouldn't make me want to stop.
Despite the dangers, James is determined to carry on. But on Moscow Bridge, the risk is even greater, as he will try and hold on to Mustang as he hangs over the edge.
Не знаю, я этого не боюсь. Я могу, Джеймс, он, кстати, немного волновался, мне кажется. Не знаю, почему он вроде наверху, то есть если бы я упал, ему бы ничего не было.
Having evaded capture on his last 2 climbs, urban free climber James Kingston is now heading to the 119-meter-high Moscow Bridge. The iconic structure is considered one of the most dangerous climbs in the city. Already this year, a climber is rumoured to have died attempting to get to the top.
I was told that someone fell into the water and died. But why dwell on it? It's a waste of time.
This is Moscow Bridge.
James and Mustang need to reach the summit quickly, and on Moscow Bridge there's only one way up. And that's in full sight of the rush hour traffic.
Погнали, go! Погнали!
Cables are disgusting. They just wobble.
Come on, James. Yes, man. Петюня.
Safely inside, it's just a short walk to the top.
James. Wow.
But there isn't much time to appreciate the view. Mustang now wants to dangle off the edge of the bridge, hanging from James's hand.
Yeah, baby! No, ничего. Смотри, птичка.
I think dangerous for me would be putting my life in something else's hands.
What?
Because it's not in my hands whether or not it goes wrong.
Yeah, man! Moment. Alright? Good. And
One moment, please. Хорошо. Хорошо.
Inspired by Mustang, James then decides to do something new. A backward somersault at height. And the thought has aroused an emotion he hasn't felt in a long time. Fear.
Scary, dude. Super scary. Scary, man.
ready?
I am attracted to fear. I want those challenges because they are what will help me become the person I want to be and be stronger than you ever imagined you could be. One thing I've learned is that fear is a choice.
One slip and he will fall 119 meters to his death. To add to the pressure, they've been spotted.
Джеймс, полис приехал. Видишь, давай, спид, пью, сальтишка, и мы так туда. Давай. Все. Красавчик, молодец, молодец. Погнали, погнали, go. Go, go, speed, speed, speed. Джейсон пересрал. Мусора стоят, давай, speed.
The challenge complete, Mustang is keen to make his escape as the police close in. But James's descent isn't quick enough. At the bottom, they are confronted by the fearsome Ukrainian special police.
Здрасте. Я Гриша.
А что вы туда полезли? Кто вам дал добро?
Как здесь? Какой страны? А, он из Англии. Может, отпустить?
Mustang's pleas fall on deaf ears as the head of bridge security arrives.
Я не знаю, что вы там делали.
Фотографировали просто.
А я что вы там бомбу заложили, понимаете?
Ну, честно, ему ничего
Она
не
взорвется, через сутки там взорвется, да и все. Конечно. Кто такие? До выяснения, документы. Я с вами не уехали с тобой, Сколько?
Fearing that they could be terrorists, the police take them to a local station for questioning.
Можно поставить знаки, что нельзя. Да.
Были бы мы в Англии, то, конечно, там это самое, это все нормально. Знаки завтра эти поломают, зарисуют, выбросят. Хорошо. Дякую. Ожидайте, подойдите. Дякую.
Finally, after 2 hours of interrogation, they are released without charge.
I thought these guys could beat us up, they could put us in a cell, or they could just realise what we were doing and let us go. The guy was just like, he didn't know what to do. He took down Mustang's details, and then he just was sat there like looking at them, just like, he just had no idea what he was doing, to be honest.
Ну, вроде нормально, да? You alright?
Да, хорошо.
Хорошо. У него все хорошо.
Having avoided jail, James and Mustang head out into Kiev to celebrate.
Ukraine has opened me up to things that I hadn't experienced before. To things that I'm not fully comfortable with. On top of Moscow Bridge, that freaked me the hell out. I was up there and I was thinking, and then I was just thinking too much, and my heart started going, and I started feeling a bit sick, and then being able to completely take control of it and make it a pleasant situation.
After a week of hair-raising climbs, it's time for James to say goodbye.
Bang. Time has come to go our separate ways.
Прощай. Прощай. Прощай.
Дякую.
Дякую твою.
I'll be back.
Good. Приезжай. Вдвоем будет легче, мы сможем больше делать того, что делать нельзя.
Yes. Till next time. Hello. Yep.
You're looking all skinnier. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm really glad you took this big coat. Oh, good.
I did need it, you know.
Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah.
First 2 days were
Yeah, I
4
did
degrees.
think-
Amazing place, yeah. You always hear like Russia and Ukraine are kind of, it's quite normal for crazy things to happen, and I'll show you some pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Why does that not work?
Oh my God. Oh my God. God, and you're standing there on the edge and he does something like that. This is what I'm talking about. That was a silly thing to do. Yeah,
But it scared me.
good. Something scared you, James. Goodness me. Right. So you're, oh gosh. So that's on the top.
Yeah.
You're a nightmare, James. You worry me. You really do.
Sorry.
God, oh. But we got through the worst. This is the worst one that I thought was going to happen. I thought this was going to be the one that was it really. So we've got through this one.